want people to lay down in the street and give up. People who don't want us to think for ourselves. You know, that's the whole essence of what we are as human beings. We are independent souls created in the image of a creator. That means a lot. That means every one of us has incredible potency as individuals when we activate the mind to be controlled by ourselves. This is the essence that they resist the most. All the mind control work that the government did, the thing they found out that scared the heck out of them is when they realized that every single human being had this innate potential, and the way to suppress that potential is to keep people in an environment of fear, confusion, and worry.
And feeling weak, feeling hopeless, and insecure. That's what Madison Avenue does. I had Bruce Fein, top constitutional lawyer, former head lawyer for the FCC on, who got rid of the Fairness Doctrine. And he said, look, Alex, what you got to understand is when they attack us, and I've always known this, but when they try to suppress us, that causes innovation. And I was realizing if the enemy attacking us and doing this mind control, that's what my dad has always said, but it's only clicking now how right these men are that are older than me, that it's going to go in ways they don't know. It's going to trigger us to be even greater. Now, for the general public, it's going to annihilate them and hurt a lot of people, and we don't like that. But for some of us, it's going to trigger the type of historical, physical, but also cultural mutations that the establishment's not going to be able to deal with.
Oh, that's exactly it. We did a Mind Effects closed conference on this in Dallas some years ago with the best in the world. And what they said is we are on the edge of the next evolution of the human mind, where we're going to have these anomalous capabilities. And the elite, the New World Order, they are not going to be able to touch us. That's coming. That's the real revolution, and that's what they're fighting against. That's what mind control is really about, is shutting down our capacity to reach our higher capacities.
Well, I've interviewed General Stubblebine, the head of Men Who Stare at Goats. They made a joke out of it, but they're on record. What's been declassified is the problem was they would boost all these people and get them to this higher level, and then they automatically wanted to fight the system. I mean, that's the issue. You boost somebody like they're going to boost their own people to fight us. Once they boost them, they're going to be at our level or higher and be more human and not want to hurt people.
That's exactly right. And I think this is, again, when you start to look at these programs now drifting towards how do you wipe out memory, how do you really start to refine what the feed is, and that's really what's going on. It's a control of the feed and to try and suppress these higher ordered capacities at the same time as exploit them. And that's the challenge for DARPA, and it's really, we need to let go of fear and worry, be confident human beings, recognize what we are. We live eternally. This is a stop between short interviews. We need to move forward as sovereign individuals, doing the things that we believe are right and true to the extent that we each individually can. That's what changes the world. That's why talk radio is powerful. It reminds us that we are not in this alone. We are in this together. We can make a difference.
Wow, powerful interview. Amazing. I'm going to skip this network break. It's so important. We have this clip of this physicist, Sneed, and Seed, and what's his full name? I forget it. That's right, Richard Seed, and then this was on Discovery Channel. And this is the attitude of Ray Kurzweil and so many others. And they're really smart men, and I admire much of their work and their inventions. But the compendium of the futurists they put on TV, that they make the head of Google technology and future programs, they have this attitude of, you're not even people, we're going to become gods, we're going to brush you aside. Well, I don't think they're ever going to become even superhuman or advance to the next level while having an attitude of shutting off other people. I mean, you reap what you sow. It's a universal law, karma, whatever you want to call it. I don't know how these guys are so smart. Then they have this real anti-human attitude of me, mine, mine, mine. Let's go ahead and play this clip.
We are going to become gods. Period. If you don't like it, get off. You don't have to contribute. You don't have to participate. But if you're going to interfere with me becoming God, then you're going to have big trouble. And we'll have warfare.
So there's the attitude. They've seized the future. They're deciding what to do. We don't even count. That's the end of my free will. Don't they know that that is at a fundamental level a universal crime in the universe?
You know, I think ego is so big on the part of some of these players. And that's what I see as I meet many, many people in leadership. They either have a very humble heart or just the opposite. And, you know, and I think eventually this all catches up. And I think we're in that phase of history. You know, there's a lot of unrest in the country right now, in the world right now. That's actually feeding, I think, the changes that are coming too. And it's the necessity of another jump in human thinking and our ability to think is certainly there. I mean, consider what we're dealing with on a day-to-day basis as human beings. It's the inevitable next step. I think we're going to open the door to a lot of possibilities in the course of this, but it's going to be a rough road. These elitists that think it belongs to them, that's been the problem for at least a couple thousand years, suppressing the population so that we don't recognize what we truly are, what if we could just recognize and remember the gifts that we have within us and believe that we can manifest those gifts.
Absolutely.
And I believe that technology will lay the blueprint where our belief systems will change and we'll see these things naturally manifest in the minds of man.
And instead of trying to suppress the general population where there's guaranteed individuals that would take us to the next level, I mean, the elite should see the entire population as a treasure trove instead of a detriment. And then the self-fulfilling prophecy that we're junk, they program us with junk so they can point at us and say, see, we're better than them. That's not elitist. That's not what a real elite would think. It just makes no sense.
Well, you know, again, as they fail to recognize the value of each human being. And, you know, and some countries don't put any value on humankind. And what we're seeing is more and more of that drifting into Western governments to the point where we're just numbers on a tax record. You know, we're chattel on so many levels. But that is not who we are. We are way more than that. We are powerful individuals capable of creating change within our neighborhoods and our communities. Do what you can. Don't take on some impossible task as individuals. Take on the one that you absolutely know you can do, whether it's these issues or other issues, and that's how change happens. Put people's feet to the fire. Confront the issues. Provide the information. That's the only way we're going to see the mindset change from this defeatist attitude. We need to rise up out of the ashes of our apathy, claim our birthright, and change the world. That's what we're each called to do. That's what we're here to do. And we can do it in every way, in every which way, with every small and large thing that each of us engage in. We don't have to wait for a group to form.
No, that's right. And if you read the 3 or 4 books written by Brzezinski on this, who is one of the top global strategists, he's in the top 5 that we know of, that's all they talk about openly, knowing the public doesn't read their books, is, you know, the human potential is too powerful. They're going to take over, and then we won't control the future and the life extension technologies. Hurry, let's dumb them all down. Obviously, these are not the people to lead us, that they would act like this.
Absolutely. And again, you know, good leaders keep getting taken out. They either die in plane crashes, they get taken out in political scandal. You know, this is the way it's done. You know, you either play ball or they try and bury you. This is the way it happens. You know, here in Alaska, they're going to spend probably $20 million on a Senate race. You know, there's only a couple 100,000 votes that are going to decide that race here. There's only 700,000 people even live in this state. But they're going to spend $20 million. And you know where that money's coming from? It's not coming from citizens who live here. It's coming from big multinational special interests that want to drive the truck. They don't want to control politics. They want to own senators. They want to own representatives. They want to own this country and own the very soul of the nation. That's what needs to be stripped away. Don't listen to the media ads. Don't listen to the garbage. Dig into who these people are. Make your decisions based on real records and the things that are important to you. Whether you support the R's or the D's or the independents, find at least people that you can believe in and do something for them. That's the only way anything ever changes. And then hope they rotate out before they get corrupted, because unfortunately over time, that's inevitable with so many politicians. They value the power more than they value the opportunity to serve.
Well, and the elite know how to scare you slowly, and then basically you get support and safety from joining one of the combines.
That's what's happening on so many levels.
Yeah,
that's what's happening.
Absolutely. Let's go ahead and go to Chad in Tennessee. Thanks for holding. You're on the air with Dr. Nick Begich of EarthPulse.com.
Hey, Alex, how you doing today?
Good. Thank you for calling.
Good. Hey, yes, the first time calling. I've been listening to you for about 6 months now, and I tell you what, I've enjoyed every episode that you put out. And I want to thank you and the other patriots that do what you do. And it's a shame. I posted a comment on Facebook a couple of weeks ago about how the United States has fallen under tyranny once again. After almost 200 and some odd years ago, and I got called a fool for this.
Well, there's a lot of weak-minded people that are scared, so they just say that to make them feel big. They also have on record bots that respond now. They already have the CIA, already has major publications writing fake news with computers. So, sir, don't even listen to the bots. They're getting rid of comments on most big news sites because usually the comments are pro-liberty. So they're trying to create a synthetic, artificial groupthink. Dr. Begich, you want to comment on that?
That's exactly it. It again is about manipulation. So, screening out and controlling the dialogue is what all that is about. I mean, it's the whole nature of our society right now. It's control the dialogue, control the debate, control the discussion. And every way that technology can support that, that's what's happening. The idea that people are giving up their private information through internet, through all the electronic forms of information, that's our digital doorway. That's a doorway to our home. That's what should be protected. We should own all of that information, not private industry.
I'm thinking we're going to start going to people's doors and knocking and going, mind if we come in and put cameras in your bathroom and watch you? They're going to get off my porch. We're going to say, hey, we apologize. It's for TV to illustrate that the NSA and corporations are watching everything you do. Why are you mad at me but not them when I'm being honest?
Right. That's exactly right. And I would not, I've taken a lot of criticism, believe me, and I know Alex has too. The fact is we all take a lot of criticism when you're doing what you believe in. Do it with respectfully, do it kindly, do it with an honest heart. And if you're wrong somewhere along the line, admit it and move on.
Be humble. But exactly, don't you get empowered, actually, when the establishment attacks you? It means you're doing good. I mean, when you know you're doing the right thing, people need to stop worrying about getting made fun of or attacked. That's what life's all about.
Hey, it's being raised in a political family, you get pretty thick skin. I could care less what they say if I'm speaking my truth, and all of us can do the same. Don't be in fear. That's where they want you. That's when everything shuts down. Know what you are, who you are, and take that forward into the world around you. Your sphere of influence, maybe your friends, maybe your family, maybe bigger than that. Exercise it. Do something. All of us are doing a little bit. It adds up in the long run. The country is not lost, or we wouldn't be doing this. I would give it up if I
Listen, I'm just some average guy from Texas, and I've had a big effect, and I've got my problems, but I'm real, so it's had an effect. I know you got to go soon, but I want to come back and do 5 minutes on the big resource issue and really how to supercharge this country and the world, just using Alaska by itself on record as the model with Dr. Nick Begich. We got 2 minutes to break, though. Let's jam in a few more calls. Chris in Nevada, you're on the air with Dr. Nick Begich. Go ahead. Yes, sir, go ahead. Okay, Chris is gone. Let's go to Jay in North Carolina. Jay, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Good afternoon, Alex, Doctor. I'm Jay Morrow from Great Dogwood State, North Carolina. I tried contacting you a couple of days ago by contact form. I wanted to touch on basically what the doctor was talking about as far as consciousness being upgraded. I'm just going to hit it on the head like on the head like a nail, being hit with a hammer. Basically, right now there exists some technology that has been used for, I say, the early 90s, and it has basically been used to elevate those beneath the scenes, behind closed doors, but now it's a point where it needs to be known that this technology exists that can reverse the DNA manipulation that the government and the powers that be have been.
Well, I know there's a lot of suppressed technology, but there's also a lot of people out there claiming they have things that they don't. I'm not saying you're doing that, but specifically, what is this?
Basically, I have found myself to become a targeted individual after being discharged from the United States Navy in 2011. With all types of harassment, secret agents showing up at my door.
Well, there's no doubt they're harassing veterans. I mean, that's in the news today up on Infowars.com. I mean, they publicly admit that. So I'm going to come back and get Dr. Begich's take on that. Thank you for the call, sir. And then we're going to get into some of the solutions just on a resource-based front. Okay, with Dr. Nick Begich of earthpulse.com. His books and videos are all available at InfoWarsStore.com or follow the links at InfoWars.com. I'm Alex Jones. Stay with us. It's the Live Friday edition.
We're on